Hi everyone, it's me. My name's Saskia. Most of you will probably know me from my Instagram, but I am officially starting YouTube. My first video, which is this one, is just gonna be a watch me do my makeup routine, and I'm gonna just talk about myself basically. So I guess we'll just get straight to it. I'm just gonna clip my hair back first because I don't want to make a mess of it since I washed it last night. And I plan to take Instagram photos after this. Okay. And then I moisturise first. I use this moisturiser for basically everything. It's nothing special, but it works for me, and I'm apparently running out. I just mix that in my face. I might take my rings off actually. And just a little bit down the neck. And there we go. I'm going to take my rings off because they're semi-sharp. And I don't want to do that to my face. Yeah. So after I have moisturised, I then prime. Two. I don't think they have different purposes, but I still use them both. First one is the Ordinary Silicone Primer. Higher adherence apparently. Blurring, surface smoother and primer. So that one goes all over my face. And then this one, which is the L'Oreal Infallible, just goes on my rather porish, is porish a word, areas, if it comes out. Okay. This kind of just gets rid of all the pores that may shine through through my makeup. And then it's for the soap brows. I found this on Beauty Bay. It's one of the cheaper versions. Just a Revolution. It's all shiny. A Revolution packet that just has the soap and a brush in it. Where's my setting spray? So I just spray the soap to wet it a little bit. Push the brush in. And then I go to town. My hairs are quite stubborn, so it takes a few tries. And even then sometimes it doesn't stay like that after I've finished everything. But still. And then the other one. which is being even more stubborn than the first. Honestly, if anyone can teach me how to do these better, I would really appreciate it. Otherwise, I will just be going back to my original. There we go. I feel like that looks a little intense at the moment because I have very dark eyebrows, which is why I do not fill them in. And then I don't like using wipes on my face, so I just get my finger and use the leftover primer that I had on my eye to deal with the excess stickiness around it. Just because if there's extra stickiness, the concealer doesn't work as well, in my opinion. And I then put around the edge. Okay. I still look really intense. Yeah, but then before I go in with my proper concealer, I get my Wet n Wild Cover All concealer palette, apparently. Just to use it to get rid of any red or darkness, which currently I have quite a bit of, because spots everywhere. I just go to town with the green for my redness. I blend it out later. Sometimes I can skip this step because my skin's doing quite well, but today that is not the case. And then I go into the pinky red just to go under my eyes to brighten them, because I do not get enough sleep, and I know right now it's like dark circles are in, but my natural ones are not. Okay? Especially when they're accompanied by like carrier bags. Okay. So that's placed on. I then get a slightly wet beauty blender just to dab at the colour so it soaks in a little bit while still being effective. I don't like to rub it because then it kind of disappears into thin air and it no longer serves its purpose. Alright, now that that's dabbed in and I'm a little bit more blank, as well as slightly blind. And then if I'm feeling like a particularly carved day, I'll go in with my contour stick before I put on a layer of foundation, just because I think it works better. I'm not very careful about where I put it because it's underneath, but at first I look quite stupid and intense, but eventually it starts to work out. Okay. And then I use my foundation, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation Dewy. I have no idea. Oh, Soft Ivory is my shade, apparently. I'm going to try and not drip this everywhere, because I've done that before. And then I get another damp beauty blender and just go to town, basically. Right now, I look pale and like it doesn't match, but it does. And then I get a little flat brush to go more towards my eyebrows, because as you can see, there's like a patch around it. Okay, so that's a base that looks incredibly light in this lighting, and I look like a vampire, but that's not the case, and it hopefully it will work. And then I just get a Morphe concealer to go underneath the brow, just to shape it even more. I've Oh, this is C1.65, I think. Can I hold all three? No, I can't. Okay, so just get it on the same brush. Go underneath very carefully. And blend that out using a sponge. Then the other eyebrow. I've also just realised I've not really been talking about anything because I've been a bit focused. I'm trying not to go wrong because that would be embarrassing. But anyway, the reason I started being a influencer, currently I'm a micro influencer, but still, the reason I started was because I used to really, and sometimes still do, it doesn't just go away, but really suffer quite badly with self-esteem issues and mental health issues. And most of the time everybody would tell you, oh, get off of social media, it's damaging, it doesn't help anything, which obviously for some people it can be, and it can be a horrible place sometimes because there's a lot of judgmental people. But for me, I found that social media was a lot more helpful than damaging, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But so I just decided that if I could share some positivity on social media, like the stuff that I found all the time, then the world and my life would be a lot better. So that's exactly what I decided to do. And I chose to be a fashion influencer because I've always had a passion for fashion, rhyming there, and I just, even when I was young and couldn't match clothes to save my life, I always was passionate about it, even if I looked absolutely ridiculous. And I think that is what matters the most. Obviously, as you grow up, you learn what works for you and what works for others, as well as what colours go together, what colours really, really don't. And I just think if I can help people get to that place where they know as much as they need to and as much as they can about fashion and their clothes and their own style, then why shouldn't I? And I get most of my passion for fashion from my mum, who mostly is obsessed with shoes, which I'm also, don't get me wrong, but is also a very fashionate person, and I think I've got most of that from her, but that's why I started, and that is why I will continue to do it no matter what, and I will always keep going, even if I keep hitting obstacles and failing a little bit. straighten my eyebrow. Okay, so now I'm just using some translucent powder to first go under my eyes. I do eventually put it everywhere, but I go under my eye first because I don't necessarily, well, I do brush it away eventually, but I don't put I don't bake in a sense. I just tap it in, and that way it just works a bit better. I also like to tap the sides of my nose because I get quite, it breaks up a bit there. So that's okay. And then while that's just sitting there, if I feel the need to, which I kind of do right now, I go in with another this, and I also do it on my nose this time. But just a little on that side, a little more on that side, and then what I do to get my nose right is I go from there and go down like that, and then do the same. The other side. I always go underneath, like so, and then across there. I'm not the best at nose contour, just saying, but I do what works for me, and I think that's all that matters. And then just brush side to side underneath my nose because I don't feel like I have to be very accurate when it comes to that. I've put a bit too much on, I believe. So when that happens, I go underneath and just dab, because it helps blend and fade when I've got too much. And then I go just do the sides gently, because if I go too hard I'll push off some of the foundation. I like to spread it over my eye as well, just to get a nice frame. Once again, this is one of the moments where I've just got to trust the process and hope I don't look ridiculous by the end of it, because I'm still learning. In terms of my ambition wise, I like to set new goals each week, so it's more focused and like time efficient, I guess, because I feel like if I just said, oh, in 5 years I want to have done this, I don't see myself getting there. Whereas I like to set the steps so that I know how I'm gonna get there and what could stop me. But for my ambitions far in the future, well, I'm currently working towards owning my own bakery by studying bakery at college, which I am very much enjoying. Obviously right now it's a bit of a weird situation, but I am enjoying it nonetheless. But my influencer goals, I'd by the end of this month I plan to have hit 2k, and I want to get a lot more collabs, especially with clothing brands, which I keep working towards, but you know, I'd also keep thinking about modelling and getting into that, but that's taking a lot of confidence that I need to build up just to apply. But I am working towards that, and it is on my list of things to do. So hopefully I'll get there one day. But I also don't like saying the word hopefully because it makes it seem like I'm never going to try, which is not true. I am going to try as hard as I can for everything that I want in life, because if you don't try, you don't get, basically. And a phrase I learned the other day from one of the social media guides, groups, I don't know what to call it, but anyway, that I joined, is that there is no change without change. And I love that quote because it's accurate. And it's very motivational. So I always feel like if I don't change anything in my life is not going to change. And I like that idea because it makes you decide that you are going to do something because you want something else to happen. And in my opinion, all you really need to succeed is motivation and a set of goals, and then for you to work for them. And if you do that, you'll be successful. So I just did a bit more bronzing and contouring with powder this time. I have no idea what brand my powder is because it's old, but it's like barely been used, so I don't want to throw it away, and it still works. I know that's not exactly the best idea, but I haven't had any issues. When I have an issue, I'll throw it away. I also don't think it has one of those tub warning things. so that's okay, because it's not a liquid. Yeah, so I do that, and then I go in with my blush just to bring colour back to the face that currently looks very vampire-ish in a sense. Okay, other side. And then a little swizzle around the nose and on the forehead. I also kind of like to blend in my contour with this because it just kind of blurs it back to a regular looking face. Okay. Whew. Sorry, I'm sat on the floor and it's not great for my back. I wanted to try eyeliner today. I have a love-hate relationship with eyeliner because sometimes it really works for me and other times it really doesn't. I might try it off camera, but then if that happens and it goes wrong, I don't know what I'm going to do. A little bit more. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I tried just doing simple liquid eyeliner and it went kind of wrong. So I just blurred it out with some brown eyeshadow and it looks kind of okay. This side looks better than this side does, which is always how it goes, unfortunately. And I don't know why. But still, now that I've done that, I do my mascara, which I'm not sure why I didn't just do off camera with my eyeliner. And I'm pretty sure I need new mascara. But, so I just brush it through a couple of times first. Then I put it back in. And then I curl my lash. Trying not to hurt myself, which I've done before, unfortunately. And this always looks so weird. Okay, so curl that and then I go back in with the mascara. And on the bottom. Not poking myself in the eye. Okay, and then the other side. Highlighter time. But first, I spray myself with my Wet n Wild setting spray, which is really white, so that's not going to show anything. But I will mention all products in the caption underneath, hopefully. Okay, spray myself. Don't open your mouth straight after, or my eyes. Okay, fan brush. Put it into my highlighter, which I do know the name of. It's a Revolution highlighter. And put it there. Up. I like sorry. I like to focus more on my centre of my face just because it makes me look a little face slimmer. Okay. On my lips for when I do my lipstick after. And then I get a different brush, which is just a flat brush, to do under my eyebrow and in a corner and my nose. So, eyebrow. Inner corner. And then nose. Just the tip. And there. I don't know what that's called. Is that the bridge? Who knows? Oh, it's not enough on the brush. If there's anything left there, I just twizzle on my forehead. Okay, and now for what I like to think is the big moment. Since my confidence has gone back up, I have started wearing red lipstick a lot again. I used to wear it all the time, obviously not at school because it wasn't allowed, but I wore it a lot and then my confidence went a little and I just stopped wearing it. But now it's back and I know that I look bomb in it. But I need to line first. Where am I putting my lip? There it is. When I use my red, I have to line. It is the only one I've got a liner for starters, but also because it's bright red and if I go wrong, I go wrong. So let me focus. Okay, line and intense. And then, where'd it go? There it is. This is my Morphe lipstick and I love it a lot. And there we go. And I pray it doesn't transfer onto my teeth. Okay, that is my makeup routine. And you can now see that it matches my face a bit more. But that is my main makeup routine. I do this quite often, changing the lip colour to suit the occasion. But since I'm taking some photos for my Instagram on how to style my favourite pair of shoes with several different outfits, I thought my red would be the best option. Sometimes I also really don't want to tackle eyeliner, so I don't. But today, I was up to it. Yeah, but I'm not fully sure what my next YouTube video will be. You will see this on Saturday because that is when I will upload it after editing and all that jazz, which I'm still new at, so hopefully that goes well. But thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. See ya!